Hi everybody, welcome back to my video blog. It's very nice to be sharing with all of you again. Today's topic is my current diagnosis and revised treatment plan. Last week I got some pretty disturbing news. The cancer had spread in my right chest cavity, in my lungs, and pretty significantly in my bones. And I was quite devastated and not sure how to process this information and not sure how to proceed. My doctors consulted, and they came up with a treatment plan that makes sense to me. While the news about the spread of the cancer was understandably disturbing, the doctors had an interesting angle that gave me a little bit of perspective. They said that while it's very unfortunate that the cancer progressed, that I'm going to use really graphic descriptions to make my point. I hope it's not too disturbing, but based on my condition and the amount of cancer, most people at this point would either be dead or the cancer would have swept through and basically just devoured my body. So while I would have preferred no progression, the doctors feel that the immune therapy was still somewhat successful in sustaining my life. As you know, for those of you who watched my immune therapy video, part of that treatment is to take out my immune cells, which one? I guess the dendritic. I can't remember now. I should have refreshed my memory. And they strengthen them and put them back in my body, and then those cells are re-energized to do their job and eliminate the cancer. But as motivated and energized as my little immune fighter cells were, they had such a big job to do. And they did their best, and bless my little immune cells, and gratitude for all their work to try to preserve my life. So there's a new plan. And the new plan is to do some low dosage chemo to reduce this tumor load, God willing. And once the tumor load is reduced, to go back to Mexico for another round of immune therapy, with the theory and the hope and the intention being that if we could get the cancer load down, that then my little fighting immune cells that will again be given an extra boost and put back in my body will not have quite such a big load to fight and might be able to be more effective. Of course, none of this is guaranteed. None of us are ever given guarantees. And I am hospice eligible, and so I had to evaluate, okay, do I want to go on? Or do I want to let go and not do any intervention and basically let this be my time? For me, the real question was, how bad do I want to get my work out into the world? And the answer was really, really, really bad. I know I shouldn't use the word bad, but it was a moment of truth for me. And while I believe we have to deal with what is, I didn't want to go into hospice and wonder if I had tried this new treatment strategy, could I have finished my book? Could I have launched my website? Could I have gotten some of my poetry published? Could I have downloaded all my paintings onto my website? You know, I have a lifetime, you know, basically 5 decades. Well, as an adult, probably more like 3 decades of work that has been stored in a larger and larger and larger and larger storage unit over the years. I kept everything. I've had so much creative energy, but I didn't let it out into the world. And now I'm like, oh, tick, 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 tick. It's kind of like, okay, it's pretty much now or never. And I realize that my work matters, and I don't want to leave this planet taking that heavy load with me. You know, I want to deliver it to the world, and with the greatest hope that it can do good. It's out of my hands, but I believe my work is very purposeful and can be of benefit if I put it out there. So, you know, I kind of sat there, hospice, create and get your work out there. Hospice, create and get your work out there. And the choice for me was very clear. If I find that I cannot have enough quality of life to do the creating and to have the energy for it, hospice isn't going anyplace. I can choose that at any time. But I want to have a peace of mind. Either peace of mind living or peace of mind dying. And many of you may be surprised that I'm doing low dosage chemo. Low dosage chemo means I shouldn't have hair loss. I shouldn't have nausea. It won't give me years and years and years and years of life. But the side effects should be minimal. I've been on it for 2 days now. And I used to think, oh, if I ever went on chemo, I would be compromising on my integrity and my mission, my soul mission, but it's actually not the case. I still aspire for treatments that are not poison. That's the bottom line, which is what chemo is. And I believe that we will reach that point when we're ready as a society and as a human race. But my cancer's here now. So I have to deal with what's available now. And I tried it in the 100% alternative route. And while that may work for some people, in the progression that my cancer was in, it wasn't enough. So I think part of healing is not being rigid and being flexible, having it be okay to change your mind. And I think a big part of my message has always been, I don't want to create war. I don't want to create war in my body, you know, the cancer versus the healthy cells. They go to battle because I'm fighting myself. I mean, I may not feel like it's my time to die, but the cancer cells are in my body and they are my cells. And I don't care how much you talk, you know, no matter what you say, that is a fact. And so, you know, they need to go, and they are going to go, but I don't want to be at war. And I also don't want to create war between the East and the West. I don't want to promote war in my body or out of my body. So conventional Western treatment of cancer, I feel there's enormous room for improvement, enormous. That being said, they have enormous resources, because who does the testing to detect the cancer? conventional Western doctors, who owns the hospitals, this is a network that is highly imperfect, highly driven by money, highly driven by fear, but also has resources. So I realized that it was in my best interest to use the resources of both. I call it the East and the West. The alternative and the conventional would be another way of looking at it. And that it wasn't compromising anything. My message is really about free choice and not making any treatment bad or good. And that everybody's body's different. Everybody's cancer is different. And what works on one person doesn't work on another. And so I began the low dosage chemo 2 days ago. It's in pill form. I'm on it 2 weeks on, 1 week off. And I'm not sure at what point. I know at some point the plan, I think, is for me to return to Mexico with a smaller tumor load, God willing, and do another round of immune therapy, boost those immune cancer-killing cells, and put them back in my body, and hopefully they can achieve greater success when they're not, when they don't have this load of cancer coming at them, and there are these cells that are working so hard trying their best, but they can only do what they can do. And again, much gratitude to those little cells for all their effort. And so that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm gonna take a little glass of water because I need to lubricate myself slightly. But basically, I'm feeling pretty good. I think most of you know I was in bed for like 6 weeks because it was severely anemic and didn't realize how much that was impacting my energy, in addition to the fact that I'm fighting, widespread stage 4. I'm healing from, I have to choose my language, I'm healing from widespread metastasized breast cancer. So, my body might be a little tired. And, but the blood transfusion, which is offered from the Western conventional world, involves going to a hospital or an outpatient unit and getting blood. All of that's organized by the conventional Western world, has helped my energy pretty significantly. So I'm out of bed every day now. I'm working on my website. I am focused. This baby's going down, or this baby's being birthed, I should say. And I'm able to do a little bit of exercise. I stretch, rebound for about 10 minutes on my mini trampoline, stretch a little more. So, and I had gone through a stretch where I had taken the Percocet. Percocet is one of the pain management narcotics, and usually I can go 10 to 14 days without any pain medication. I had taken the medication, and usually when I need it, it's usually just once a day, maybe twice a day. And I'd gone through a period where I was taking the medication at least 6 days in a row, and I thought, okay, this is it. You're now going to need, finally, you're no longer going to be able to pull off this no pain or minimal pain lifestyle. And then I haven't been on Percocet for 3 days. So just a reminder that not to create stories about the future based on the present and how quickly my body shifts, and it still continues to be resilient, and there still continues to be remarkable signs of health, even with cancer, with a significant amount of cancer in my body. And again, I don't know what the future holds. I'm going to take it one step at a time. And right now, I'm just extremely focused on my creative activities. And I really think, I say this all the time, I think it's my spirit. Something about the energy of my spirit, I really feel has allowed me to go this long without being in chronic pain. I tell this story all the time. I mean, you know, when the conventional oncologist examined me, she felt my belly because my liver is so swollen. I mean, it's very sad. And I have one of the most painful cancers is bone cancer. And the doctor expected me to be curled in a ball, screaming, wailing. She's like, you know, nobody really can explain how I'm walking around, you know, reasonably functional with still some radiance. I've lost a lot of weight. That's been the biggest outward sign of my illness. And if I need the pain medication every day, I will certainly take it. I've learned to partner with my medication and not see that as the enemy either. I think that's the lesson in all of this, that, you know, not to make war, and not to judge, and to be open-minded and to be flexible. And that's what I'll attempt to continue to do. So I think that concludes this video blog. I thank all of you for tuning in and listening, and for your ongoing support. So I'll end in prayer and in gratitude and blessings, and with the intention of not looking at things in terms of good or bad, not making war internally or internally or externally. Free choice, acceptance, and flexibility. Blessings and health to all. Thank you.